Today, I'm going to tell you guys why I believe that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should be the NBA's MVP over Victor Wembanyama. But before I tell you why, I want to tell you guys to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and tell a friend, tell a family member, tell whoever to support my channel. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder, he should be the MVP. He absolutely should be the MVP. He to me, with all due respect to Victor Wembanyama, who's been just unbelievable. I mean, the San Antonio Spurs are just rolling. I mean, they're 25-2 over their last 27 games. I mean, just absurd at how good the San Antonio Spurs have been, how much on the road they've been, and all of that. But to me, the MVP award should be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He should be the NBA's MVP. And the reason why I feel that way is number one, if you look at how good Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has been over the past 5 years, or 4 years, he's been unbelievable. I mean, this dude, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, just for this season alone, he's averaging 31 points a game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds on 55% shooting, and 38% from three. I mean, this dude is he's ridiculous. And if you look at what he's done over the past 4 years, this is his fourth straight year or fourth straight season in which Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has averaged over 30 points a game and shot over 50% from the field. This is his fourth straight season. There's only one guard in NBA history who's had 4 seasons in which they've scored over 30 points a game and shot over 50% from the field. One guard. You want to take a guess who that guard is? It's the GOAT, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the only guard in NBA history who's had 4 or more consecutive seasons, or not consecutive seasons, 4 or more seasons in which he's averaged 30 points a game on 50% shooting. And Michael Jordan did that 3 consecutive years, from 1987 to 1990. 3 consecutive years, and he's done that in 5 different years total. Michael Jordan is the only guard outside of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander who's had a season, in which Shai has had multiple years of averaging over 30 points a game and shooting over 50% for the field. And if you want to go deeper, if you want to look at other players who's done what Shai has done over multiple seasons of averaging 30 points a game and shooting over 50% from the field, there's only 2 other players that aren't guards that's done what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is currently doing. Outside of Michael Jordan, those other players were Wilt Chamberlain and Adrian Dantley. Adrian Dantley back in the early 1980s. It's just ridiculous what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is doing, man. This dude is on a historical run of just scoring at an efficient level as a guard. It's incredible. It just is. And you look at the game he had last night against the Detroit Pistons, 47 points, just doing anything that he wanted to do on the court, scoring at the rim, hitting threes, getting to his mid-range bag, showing his ability, as a driver, great footwork, counter moves to get to his spots. I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as an offensive player is just a complete package. He just is. And it's a joy to watch him play basketball because there's just nobody like him. There's nobody like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander right now doing what he's doing for the Oklahoma City Thunder, since he's been on the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's incredible. It's incredible. And with all due respect to Victor Wembanyama, and I know he had some comments, I think it was like last week, or maybe it was a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember, but it wasn't too long ago, maybe about a week or so ago, where he talked about his case for winning the MVP was the fact that there's only 2 wins on the court. He's one of the best defenders, and he's the best defender in the league, and he is. He's an unbelievable rim protector, anchor on the defensive end, and he's doing major work for the Spurs on that end. And so you can't take that away from him. And you also can't take away from the fact that, you know what? The San Antonio Spurs have kind of held the Oklahoma City Thunder this year. They're 4-1 against the Thunder. And Victor Wembanyama, like, yeah, his team has beaten Shai's team when it matters, this season. And so that's a compelling case. But at the end of the day, it's all about what you do for the full 82. And as of this recording, the Oklahoma City Thunder have the best record in the league. They're 3 games ahead of the San Antonio Spurs in the standings. And so now, if the San Antonio Spurs catch up to the Thunder and they move ahead of them, then maybe we can have a different conversation. But as of this moment, I just don't see a reason why Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should not be the MVP of the NBA. He's been fantastic, and I think the other thing that I would hold in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's favor when it comes to being an MVP is the fact that Oklahoma City Thunder, they've been without some key players over a good portion of the season. Jalen Williams, who came into the season thinking was their second best, at least scoring option or player, he's only played 30 games. Isaiah Hartenstein, who's their key center, he's only played like 40 games. And Isaiah and Alex Caruso's only played 50 games. And so they've been without key players for the Thunder, and they still have the best record in the league. And it's all because of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He's just incredible. He's their number one scoring option. He's the guy that they lean on, and he's the guy that the Oklahoma City Thunder depend on to make things happen out there on the basketball court, man. And you can't take that away from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And if you just look at what he's done since he's been at Oklahoma City Thunder, I mean, he's becoming one of the best guards of all time. Like, he's on that trajectory of being one of the all-time great guards ever. At the rate that he's going, and he's incredible. Like, the way that he scores buckets as a guard is just effortless. He just does it with ease and just with smoothness, and like the way he just glides out there on the court, it's just so smooth. It's so just easy going, and he gets to his spots like no other. He just does. Like, it's literally Michael Jordan-esque at how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander operates out there on the court. Like, it really is. And Michael Jordan is the only guard who's put up the numbers in multiple seasons. That Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is putting up numbers. Only Michael Jordan is doing the kind of stuff that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's done. Really, as a guard. And it's just remarkable. And I know people want to complain about his foul drawing and baiting calls, and like we saw Mike Brown of the New York Knicks complain about it. And hey, if it works, why stop? Like, if it works, why stop? And how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander operates, man, it works because teams can't stop it. They can't stop what he's doing. And that's a testament to his greatness. And so, and look, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like, you look at how his career has came on. Like, I remember around that draft in 2018, people didn't look at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as the best player in the draft. People were looking at Luka Doncic. People were looking at Trae Young, DeAndre Ayton, Jaren Jackson. Like, those were the key guys around that draft. Many people weren't looking at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And you look at, how the draft has turned out to be 8 years later. It's clear to everyone that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player out of that draft. When he went 11, like, he's better than Luka Doncic. He's better than Trae Young. He's better than Jaren Jackson. He's better than Jalen Brunson. Marvin Bagley. Like he's the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has become the best player out of that 2018 draft, man. And you just look at how the run that he's been on the last 4 years. He's on an all-time run right now. And you look at the season he's having for the Thunder. He's having an all-time season. And he's doing it again. He won MVP last season, and I think he's likely going to win it again this season. And it's incredible. And for the first Victor Wembanyama, look, man, I think his time is going. I think his time is coming real soon, as far as him winning an MVP. I mean, look, man, the guy's averaging 24 points a game, which is great. Like he's averaging 24 and 10, and he's shooting over 50% from the field, and he's shooting 35% from three, and he's leading the league in blocks, and he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year. And so Victor Wembanyama is he's on an all-time run as well. And look, make no mistake about it, I believe Victor Wembanyama is going to win multiple MVPs as well, if not as soon as next season. As far as winning an MVP, like Victor Wembanyama, like he's starting to figure some things out. And who's to say that the Spurs can't win the championship this year with how they've been playing? Like if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins the MVP, there's no telling that Victor Wembanyama is going to be upset, and he might take it out on the Thunder if they meet in the conference finals. And that'll be something to see. Make no mistake about it. And so this could be good for the NBA if Victor Wembanyama does not win an MVP this season. But if he ain't going to win an MVP this season, and like I said, I don't think he should be the MVP. I think Shai Gilgeous-Alexander should be the MVP. But if Victor Wembanyama doesn't win the MVP this season, he's going to win it at some point soon. No question about it. And we could be looking at a rivalry, with the Spurs and the Thunder, and with Victor Wembanyama and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Like we could be looking at that type of thing moving forward, man. And so this is great for the NBA, man. This is great. What we're seeing with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander versus Victor Wembanyama is great for the NBA. It's great for me because I'm creating content to put this stuff out there for you people. And so I'm loving it. I'm loving what we're seeing out there on the court with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and what the Thunder and what the Spurs are doing right now, and Victor Wembanyama with the season he's having. This is awesome. But make no mistake about it, man. When it comes to the NBA MVP and who I believe should take home that award at this moment in time, if you're asking me who I believe should be the MVP, I'm going with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think that man has been on a tear. The Thunder have the best record in the league, and what Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's done this season has been historic, and I can't take that away from him. And so Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, that is my pick to be the NBA's MVP.